pulls the trigger.
Welcome to the cockpit. Oh, there we go. Sorry, welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am so excited to talk to you guys. I've got the new layout. Hopefully, this is not going to lag. I think I figured out my issues. So bear with me. Let's see if it works out together. But I want to hear from you guys. We're going to do the call-in show the way we do it every week. I'm going to give you guys some of my thoughts. We'll go through some of the questions in the comment section or in the live chat, and then we will go to the phones, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. I did change the timer. I was able to change the timer, so we're going to do a 3-minute timer instead of a 5-minute timer. So I'll be able to get some more phone calls to hear your thoughts as well. If you look to this way, you will see the top, I believe it's the top 64 from Tankathon for prospects, as well as the full draft order. Although I believe the full draft order was probably before the Rams won the Super Bowl, so I might have to update that. So I apologize if I did not do that. Guys in the chat, I see B2B, Hank G, Ant Jets, Mitt Flair, Benjamin, Wa2K, Michael, Joseph, Emanon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Now, you guys probably saw my video that I put out just about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, where I talk about the trailer for Take Flight 2022, or Flight 2022 from the New York Jets. If you haven't done it, or if you haven't looked at it, take a look at the video. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see me do more of. It was pretty easy to do as far as like a logistics editing wise, but I kind of enjoyed it. I want to try and tackle this with like interviews and things like that, press conferences along those routes, so I could go through the entire thing. Maybe we'll do it for the One Jets Drive episodes. Do like a little watch party. Might not be a bad idea. Runner Dash said he saw it. Good stuff. Wa2K, what's up? Let's see if I can throw this on the screen and do it the right way. Boom! Look at that. Everyone want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. That's our boy, Ron Middleton. Coming up with some amazing, oh, see, you like the Flight 2022. I like it. Zachary Berner says he wants more reactions. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Let's see. Did I remove that? Yes, there we go. Okay. Learning this whole new setup. All right, cool. What else do we want to talk about? We could talk about how there were rumors coming out about Braxton Berrios wanting $9 million. I know we had heard about that prior, but something to consider with him, and now Foley Fatukasi apparently wanting $8 million. Now, what do we do? Do you don't bend to both offers, because that's not how negotiations work. Ideally, you wind up going to training camp with our guys, both guys. I would like to bring both back. I would say I was colder on Foley initially. And then I started thinking about it a little bit, and I think, you know what? It's probably good to start retaining some of our own, especially guys that are captains, guys that other players look up to. If Foley wants to stay on and we can cut Rankins and save the money and say, hey, look, this is what we're willing to do, will you stay on the team? Would be fantastic. Now, I tend to believe that Foley knows he's worth more. He'll go to a team that's winning. It sucks. It feels like the Jets get put over a barrel every time we go into these contract negotiations, and it just doesn't seem like we're going to be able to figure this out. So here's my rationale for wanting the guys, right? Because anyone with salary cap space, anyone looking to go to a new team will be looking for the good teams with salary cap space. The Cincinnati Bengals, do not be surprised if we lose out to Dalton Schultz or, some of these other top free agents, because they go to Cincinnati. You got a bunch of young guys on cheap contracts. They made it to the Super Bowl. I can absolutely see a situation where they want to bring in as many guys as possible. So, are the Jets going to realistically spend all their salary cap space on the guys we want? Look, we've known year in and year out that's not the case. That's not how things happen. This is not the same Jets that would dish out monster contracts. So I think we're going to have to turn over some stones. I don't think it's going to be quite as cut and dry as a lot of us want it to be. It's going to be interesting. Gonna be interesting. Here's a good one from Stud City. Stud City says, even more reasons why Jets don't need to be on Hard Knocks is because the one Jets drive crew, the whole team that puts together all the videos for the Jets, I think they're one of the best in the NFL, because a lot of teams have their own, film crews or teams like this, media teams. And the Jets, I think, do a really good job. I do not miss Hard Knocks one bit. And I was actually talking to Jay from Let's Talk Lions, because he was saying, who would you rather have on Hard Knocks, the Lions or the Jets? And I said, obviously the Lions. I want to see, Campbell go off. Be fantastic. We'll see. Afram says he's looking forward to the One Jets Drive series. It's going to be really good. They do a great job each year. Irving says he's all in on 2 tight ends. 2 tight ends would be really cool to see. I do think we add 1 in free agency, 1 in the draft. If we don't happen to get 1 in free agency, then maybe you see 2 in the draft. But I would be pretty surprised if we did that. Let's see. Jared says that trailer had me hyped. AF. Love it. Kyle Ormsby, will we make a move on the first day of free agency? Yes, I do think we will. I don't think it's going to be for anyone that we really, really desperately want. I would be surprised anyway. I mean, it would be cool to see Dalton Schultz come to the Jets on day 1. But I think we may sign like a lower-end player early in this process. I do think the Jets are going to try and make some moves, because if the Jets don't start winning games, I think that seat is going to get a little bit hot. Now, I do, and that's for Douglas and Salah, but I do think that they would be coming back for 1 more year. I do think we're locked into Wilson for 3 years. I'd be surprised if we weren't. They want to build it wrong, or want to build it right. Frank says Foley is gone. Curly Norman, not to be negative Nancy, but videos don't get me hyped up anymore. When the Jets actually start winning is when I'll get hyped. Oh, Curly! I understand. I get why fans may not buy into the hype videos. But you know what? Allow yourself to indulge. Enjoy the offseason. We don't have any losses right now. This is our time. We're undefeated, boys. Undefeated. Michael says he does not want Foley. Ikeem says, if we trade for a receiver, who would you rather have, Ridley or Amari Cooper? Skill-wise, I would prefer Calvin Ridley. I believe age-wise, too. I think he's 27. Although I think Amari Cooper is probably somewhere around that as well. You could probably get Amari for cheaper, unless you renegotiate his contract, which you would really want to do, because $20 million a year for 3 years is a lot of money to pay Amari Cooper. Now, I don't think... I don't know. I don't think... If he was traded to us, I don't think he would renegotiate his deal. I think he's more likely to renegotiate and stay with Dallas, maybe? Or to a team that he really covets. So... we'll see. If I had to choose one, though, I would say Ridley for the skill, Amari for the price, meaning the trade that we'd have to give up to get him. Michael says, since these owners are too cheap to compete for these players. That's been a big knock on the Cincinnati Bengals, is that they don't spend the money for the talent. Now, I'm curious to see if that's still the case after seeing everything that's gone on over the course of the last 2 years with Burrow. Maybe they decide, hey, look, maybe it's time to spend a little bit of cheddar. We shall see. GVH says Foley is gone due to money, but wish Salah could adjust scheme to fit Foley. Rushing a nose tackle, not going to work for us. Look, ideally, they paid John Franklin Myers to replace... No, I shouldn't say replace, but should be the guy starting next to Quinnen Williams. If you wanted to... Look, you could have a serious conversation about bringing back Foley for cheap and then rolling with Quinn and see what happens. And then maybe, you have to renegotiate Quinnen. You have to exercise his fifth year option this offseason at the very least. So even if you hold on to him for a year, if you're not getting the production out of him, maybe you don't want to exercise that option. Maybe you do wind up letting him walk in free agency or trying to trade him or something along those lines. Foley may present some type of, I don't want to say some type of insurance policy because I don't think that's good. I think they have an entirely different skill set. But I do think that you're more likely to continue getting production out of, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm looking forward to Quinnen. But I do think that the nose tackle interior defensive line is probably a little dense right now or packed with guys. So we'll see. What else are you guys talking about? Afrim says Tannenbaum and McCagnon are no longer GMs. Don't expect to bring the bag mentality. I agree. We are playing a new game. Emanon says, no more jet tax. I would hope not, but you got to start winning games before there's no more jet tax, so I disagree. Duncan, some 6-level chess going on with the Jets making it look like we want to draft tight ends. Right? Everyone believes we want to take a tight end. They say, no, we're not. We want to go towards free agency. It's one of those, look over here. Don't look what this hand's doing over here. Seriously, no, look at this hand. That's the way I looked at it. Gitmo Bob says, it's going to be up to JD and JS to convince potential free agents. JS. Who is JS? Joe Douglas? I'm assuming that's Robert Saleh? Is the J close to the R? No, it's not. Potential free agents. That the Jets are up and coming. Hope they can pull it off. I hope so, too. I really do. I'd like to see some guys come in here. GBH says no more Jared Davis on day one. Dude, I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. We're going to wind up signing someone that we don't love in free agency really early. Just the way it goes. Nigel says Amari Cooper seems like a no-brainer even at $22 million cap hit for the next few years. He's actually, well, not you're pretty much right. 3 years, $20 million a year is what it winds up being. We don't actually pay his signing bonus. The signing bonus stays with the Cowboys as a dead cap hit. So yeah, 3 years, $20 million a year. If you consider the cap going up, maybe you don't mind. Look, if I had to pay a receiver for a duration of time while we had Zach on a rookie contract, it would be 3 years. So Amari Cooper does fit that bill. I really do. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Pirlo is a legend. Pirlo is a legend. Says, I'm bringing back Foley over Berrios. He's a special teamer. Berrios is like so much more than a special teamer. I disagree. I would much rather prefer to bring Berrios back over Foley. Hopefully we do things the way I hope we do. Got to surround our quarterback with talent, and Berrios is one of his favorite guys. Watu says, enjoy the ride up because that's the direction it's going. Yes! Some positivity, boys! That's what I want to see. Nice frosty, cold Bud Light. I'm not a Bud Light guy, but I've had a bunch of these in my fridge. I've got 2 fridges. I got the main fridge downstairs, and I got the beer fridge like way downstairs. What I should do is I should put like a tiny fridge under my desk and stock it with things that are better than alcoholic water. Let's see. What else we talk about? Michael says, besides, since he needs O-line, it should really sign their own guys. They don't have that many guys hitting free agency, and they have like $50 million in salary cap space before cuts. So they have plenty of money. Joe says the Jets need to sign a guard and a safety in free agency. Trade down from 4 if an edge is not available. I don't know what to do. So I want to bring back LDT purely because that, at least in my mind, allows me to go into next year with a starter in place at guard that we probably are not paying a crazy ton of money to. A guy that worked well with our team while he was in. Our rush yards per carry were way up with him in the lineup. And then go into the draft not needing to take Ekwonu, not needing to take Evan Neal. I would like one of those 2 guys, but that's only if Thibodeau's not there. Thibodeau falls to 4. You run up, you take that draft card, you take the edge rusher. Then you go to 10. If Linderbaum's sitting there, Maybe you do that. Now you've upgraded your entire offensive line. Or you go with the wide receiver at 10. Or you trade down from 10, like we heard. You trade down from 10, you get the receiver, and then you stockpile even more picks. That's really what you want to do. I would say if you stay put at 4 and 10, if Thibodeau's not there, I would go after Ekwonu or Neal, whoever falls. And then at 10, you're looking edge rusher. There's a lot of guys. Lots of guys. Jermaine Johnson's going to be a very, very popular name for us, I think. By the time we get close to the draft, I think this guy's going to go top 15. I would take him at 10, no questions asked. Let's see. Nate says, do you think trading 10 is a possibility? I do, Nate. I think that the Jets are going to try and attempt to move out of that spot, trying to drive the quarterback narrative. I do think Washington is going to try and get a quarterback. We have seen rumors that Kenny Pickett was talking with Matt Rule. So in the event that Pickett goes top 10, maybe the Rodgers goes to Denver at number 9. So that pick's going to the Packers. They're not taking a quarterback. But now Washington at number 11 and us sitting just in front of them, they may want Malik Willis. That's where maybe that Steelers trade comes up. Because if Mike Tomlin, if the rumors I heard are true, he wants a running quarterback, and Malik Willis might fit that bill. And I don't think he's going to make it to them at 20. So you want him, trade up. Owen says, Ryan, you should get diehard fans, streamers for other teams, and do a mock draft together with everyone predicting their own team would draft. Owen, are you in my DMs right now? Because your boy already reached out to guys. This video is coming. I reached out to UCF Jaguar to make the first pick. Let's Talk Lions, my buddy Jay. He's going to make the second pick. I reached out to Jake Asman. I know he's a Jet fan, but he's Texans beat writer. So he's going to be doing pick number 3. I'll do pick number 4. And then I reached out. I'm still reaching out to the guys 5 through 9. I reached out to 5 and 7 already. I got my guy for who I hope will do it. He hasn't responded to me, but I talk to him pretty regularly. Hopefully the entertainer does 5. I'll probably get the Keep Pounding podcast, because I collabed with them last year. They'll probably do the 6th pick. 7 will either be, I would like to try and get Bad Dog. I'd like to get 2 different Giants guys. But if not, I'll probably have Chris do 5 and 7. 8 is the Falcons. I have to find a Falcon. If you guys know a Falcons YouTuber, let me know, because I don't know anyone that does the Falcons. I tried looking for this last year, and there was no one around. And then 9 for Denver. Denver might be an interesting one. I know there's one I really want to get. He's never going to do it because he's way too big. But I would love to get some more. And then I'll do 10. But I like doing this every single year. I tried to do it last year. There were so many picks between us and 23. It was tough to get everyone on board. Lawrence Wapples says, what's up, Ryan? I said it before. I'll say it again. We need to double up on wide receiver, tight end, and edge. You're saying double dip at each one of those? All right. Here's how I would do that. If I were to double up in free agency, I'd be looking Allen Robinson, and then I would be looking at some point in the draft. I probably wouldn't be going 10 overall, but I would probably be looking at some point in the draft, 2nd or 3rd round. At tight end, I would be surprised if we got Dalton Schultz. If you get Dalton Schultz, then I'd probably look to go Jeremy Ruckert in the 3rd round. If you can't get Schultz, then I would go after one of Howard, Gesicki, Njoku, maybe a Zach Ertz, someone along those lines. I think Njoku and Howard are probably the 2 most realistic based on their performance and their contract demands. Edge-wise, I do want to double dip. I would prefer to go older edge rusher in free agency, a vet, someone like a Justin Houston, someone like a Chandler Jones, someone along the veteran path, a Von Miller maybe. Maybe he's looking to cash in one more time after his Super Bowl win. Or maybe he retires. Who knows? I would like to get some edge rusher looking for a final payday that wants to get a year or 2, pay him a little bit more than you would feel otherwise comfortable doing, and get your edge rush locked in. That way you could go into the draft still needing edge rush, but it won't prevent you from taking one at 4 or 10. And then at that point, you just have a nasty rotation of Lawson, vet, which would be replacing like a Vinny Curry, plus the new guy that will be able to kind of balance. I've always said balance, right? And I said, Corey Davis, just draft Elijah Moore. Sign Corey Davis, draft Elijah Moore. Sign George Fant, draft Mekhi Becton. That kind of this, then that is how I would kind of tackle that. So I would love to see that. Let's see. Stud City says Bud Light. For that, drink tap water. Yeah, look, I'm not a Bud Light fan. It's just what's in the fridge. Sorry. Michael says, I hate the long break between Super Bowl and free agency. I know the combine is in the middle of them, but still, I want free agency now. You don't want free agency now because we got to build up the hype for it, baby. You want to see who we're going to get. See what shakes out. See who gets retained. Just sit down. Enjoy. It'll be fun. Let's see. I should probably scroll down and see some of the newer ones in here. Joe Campone says Icky or Burks plus Zion plus 2023 second rounder after a trade down. Yes. If you get Icky at 4, Burks at 10 or whatever with a trade down, then Zion Johnson, the guard out of BC, who's learning how to play center, I'm all on board for Zion Johnson. 100%. And if you get a trade down with it, pick up some more stuff, all about it. Let's see. Gitmo Bob says, after the Super Bowl, do people still think the Jets should concentrate most of their picks on offense? I think you need a balanced approach since both sides of the ball need so much help. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle. I would lean towards helping Zach as much as possible. And here's why. If you do that, then maybe you get to the Super Bowl. You may not win the Super Bowl, but you might get to it. A la Joe Burrow. No, you give him as many weapons as possible because you need Zach to succeed. Zach right now, I don't need Zach for just next year or just the year after that. I want Zach for like 10, 15 years. So make sure this kid is the real deal. And then you worry about the Super Bowl stuff. But I do think that we will help the defense. We're going to have a balanced approach. I would say we're going to help the defense a lot in the draft. I think we go with the scatter shot approach in the later rounds for sure. But it kind of depends on what happens in free agency. Free agency is really holding a big key here. You get a tight end in free agency like Dalton Schultz, probably not going early tight end. We'll see. Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico says Odell Beckham. I'm not going to lie. There was a little part of me before watching the game yesterday. I was like, you know what? If Odell wanted to come back to New York, I would have no problem bringing Odell back to New York. The guy's playing lights out. He plays lights out for the first half of the Super Bowl. And then friggin' ACL. Won't you know? Every goddamn player I like or appear to like. Torn ACL. Jameson Williams. Michael Gallup. Chris Godwin. And now Odell. I know he wasn't really coming back, but man, every time I say something good, someone tears an ACL. I don't like it. Matthew says, "What's your dream scenario for the top 4 picks you can trade back?" I'm not gonna do the trade back because that's a little tough to kind of predict. My top 4. If Jermaine Johnson goes as high as like a top 15 level edge rusher, then I think I might, depending on how the interview processes kind of shake out, if there's any concern with Kayvon Thibodeau as to why maybe he's dropping down some draft boards, and if there's not that killer instinct, then I would go Icky. 100% would go Icky. If you think Thibodeau is the guy, then go Thibodeau. No problem. No question asked. Let's just say he's not. Let's say he's off the board. Icky at number 4. I would go Jermaine Johnson at 10. Or in a trade down, I would still probably put that name out there. Then I would probably go McBride. Because now we've got our guard, we've got our edge rusher. You've fixed both, not fixed, but you've helped both trenches. McBride at tight end or Ruckert, whoever you want at tight end, I think is important. And then I'm probably looking, I want to trade the second round. I want to trade one of our second round picks. I would like to get a stud receiver that's like already established, I guess. I don't want to go through rookie growing pains. Although I will say this, if there's a situation where like Jameson Williams is like dropping down draft boards, and I know Matt and Green Bean are gonna crucify me for this, I really like Jameson Williams. I think he's the best receiver in this draft. No questions asked. I'm not trying to win a Super Bowl next year. I think if you can get a guy that might be a top 10 pick otherwise, that you just have to wait, till a third of the way through the season before you can utilize him, and then you have him for the next maybe 10 years as a top 10 receiver, I think you got to consider it at the very least. I know it's not ideally what people want, and people are going to probably roast me in the chat, but I'm telling you, I like Jameson Williams a lot. I would not be concerned with the ACL. Let's see. Speaking of Bud Light, what happened to the Bud Bowl? Great times. I have no idea what the Bud Bowl is, unless you're talking about like the commercials that used to be going back and forth. I think I only saw one Budweiser commercial. I think it was at like the very end of the game. I was a little surprised by that. When Jet fans, the Bud Light got in the fridge somehow. You're right. It's because but I have a group of guys that host Thursday Night Football, and Hosting House provides beer. I'm not buying IPAs for everyone. Sorry, that stuff's expensive. And I also want to make sure I have something light and refreshing to drink when I'm day drinking, so that way I'm not pounding IPAs and just falling overboard. Frank says, when are franchise tags announced? Just before free agency. I believe the cutoff is like the week before. So if free agency starts on, say, a Wednesday, I believe that Sunday is the legal tampering period, and I think it's the Wednesday before that. I'm pretty sure is when you have to designate your tags. Don't quote me. Don't exactly know. But it's before free agency. There you go. Watu2K. Franchise players must be announced by March 9th. What did I say? I said a week before free agency, which I think is March 16th. I'm like almost or 17th, something like that. George says, are we going to tag anyone? I don't think so. I would be surprised if we tagged anyone. There's no one I would want to tag. I don't think there's anyone on this roster that deserves top 5 or top 10 money at their position. Not that's hitting free agency, at least. I see Jeremy in the chat. What's up, dude? Mudfiles. What's good, brother? He says, free agency looks like you can pay for a defense unless you want edge or safety. Yes, I do. Jake Asman and I are both agreeing on this. We both want defense in free agency so you can go offense heavy in the draft. Now, that doesn't prevent me from taking edge rusher in the draft by any means, but it would prevent me from going, say, like safety and then edge rusher in the draft. I don't want to see that. But we'll see. I could live with Hamilton if he's taken at 10, but I don't really want that. Where else you guys talking about in here? Oh, see, look at Curly. Over 200 people in the chat, only 50 likes. Ron Middleton said, hit it. The like button. I like it. If it moves, hit it. Unfortunately, the like button doesn't move. If it doesn't move, hit it. Hit him. Oh, we got a super chat. Who do we get? Jordan. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He says, I hope we pick up Quinnen Williams' 5th-year option. That's going to be a big topic of discussion. I should probably make a video about that. But I do think that we will pick up his option. I think when you take a guy in the top 3, it'd be a damning indictment if you did not. I think you could always, if something goes completely sideways, and you don't want to pay Quinnen Williams, then maybe you look at trading him. But I think I would pick up his 5th-year option. I would be surprised if we did not. I'd like to know what his 5th-year option is, being the 3rd overall pick, and I'd have to imagine it's like pretty expensive. So we shall see. We shall see. Nolan D, you dirty dog, you. He says, I only hit the like button to make it 69. Have you guys, when they took away the dislike button, it ruined the Thanos snap. It was everything balanced or whatever he says, because YouTube, there was an understanding. Anyone that went to that video, there was always an equal amount of likes and dislikes. It was perfect harmony. It was the best video I've ever seen. It was like, It might have been millions of likes and dislikes. It was like amazing the way they balanced it out. But it reminds me of the 69 or 420. Oh, geez. Mark Riss says, I don't know about Quinnen Williams. Interesting. Gonna have to get some thoughts on this. Ooh, okay. We are up to our call-in show now. So let's see if Ryan does this right. I created a macro. Bam! Call-in numbers on the screen, boys and girls. Gonna talk to you. Everyone gets a 3-minute timer tonight. Different than how I've done it before. Going away from the 5-minute, going to the 3-minute. Oh, here we go. Let's see who we got.
Call from
Jack.
Jack, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Talk to me.
All right, so I saw the video you made about McBride, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're pretty much locked in to get him if he's there at 35. Like, I see no way we pass on him.
I would be pretty surprised if we passed on him if he makes it to 35. I think the concern probably is, will he make it to 35? And I would say for me, I have no interest in trading up for McBride. I don't think so, at least, because I like Ruckert. There's a few other tight ends that I like, but I hope he's there at 35. I would like to draft him.
Yeah, I really don't think I would trade up because you would probably have to give up one of your thirds, and we just did that last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that would just, I would not be with Joe Douglas if he did that.
You'd have to, if you gave up a third, according to like the value chart, you'd get up to the early 20s. So maybe if you think that McBride might get drafted by, say, the Dolphins now that Mike McDaniel is there, maybe you consider jumping in front of them. I think they're sitting at like pick 29. So maybe there's a situation where the Jets jump up since they own the Dolphins own the 49ers pick. Maybe they jump in front of them to look at getting a tight end. But man, there's so many good ones, and you can get really good ones in like the 3rd and 4th round. I'd be pretty frosted if we went up to go get a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. What else you want to see happen?
So I want to see us re-sign LDT, maybe at like, I don't know how much money he can get, but maybe like $5 or $6 million, because then we can go into the draft. We could draft Ekwonu, but we could also wait because LDT's proved he's been a starter, so then we could grab like someone on day 2 or day 3.
Yeah, my plan would be if you take LDT, and let's say you don't get Ekwonu, you get Thibodeau, then maybe you take someone like Treylon Burks, and then you get to the 2nd round. If McBride's not there, or maybe he's there, you take him at 35, and then at 38, you're looking at maybe taking someone like a Zion Johnson or some other guard that's sitting there at that point that you may want to have a long-term relationship with, because LDT is probably, if he gets a 2-year deal, I think it would be a 1-year deal with a team option for the 2nd year.
Mm-hmm. And I want to know why we're not talking about DJ Moore, because I would give up a 2nd for him. He's been consistent. He's been on the field. He's shown he could play with any quarterback. I would give up a 2nd for him, no question.
I think that's something that people will consider. I think there's a realistic possibility that we could wind up swinging Mims and pick for him, just because of the relationship between Mims and what's his face, Matt Rule. But we shall see. Brother, thank you so much for calling in. Boom! That's it! You're out of here! Oh, God, I love the chicken. I just love the chicken. Is there a way to, there's probably an easier way to do that. We'll figure it out. All right, phone numbers on the screen, boys and girls. You get 3 minutes. I want to hear how you would rebuild the New York Jets.
Call from
Green Beans Beard.
to accept. Press.
What's up, Jeremy? How you doing tonight?
What's up, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. Talk to me. How would you rebuild the New York Jets, or talk to me about something else?
Rebuild the Jets. Well, so yesterday I rest my case. We need an offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can go there 1st round or 2nd round. Zion Johnson will be there. Cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But my big thing is we're not going to do it all in one off season. Like still,
Mm-hmm.
like it's not going to be like we're not going to have the team we need to go to a Super Bowl or anything like that, right? But
Sure.
we're going to fill a lot of holes this off season.
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to look at it, because building this team the right way, it involves not signing those big name free agents, not having those monster contracts like CJ Mosley. You want to try and retain your own guys. That's kind of why I'm softening up a little bit more maybe on the Foley Fatukasi front. I think it's important to show your team that you're willing to retain guys that do things the right way, and I think Foley's been that guy. It's kind of the same way, about Barrios too. I think he's handled his business, but I obviously do not want to pay him $9 million a year.
No, I agree. If we can get him for the right price, like 5 to 6, and if we can get Foley for about 7, 8, I guess 8-ish, I think that's good.
Yeah, I think, you say Barrios at 6 or 7, Foley at 7 or probably like 7 million. I'd feel pretty comfortable. I don't want to give him his top value number that he wants, because it's negotiation. Like, come on, stay with us.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to move.
Yeah.
That's a big factor.
No, absolutely, and you got to have consistency too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
And he was a little inconsistent. I don't know. I mean, but we've seen him become potentially one. Play like one of the best run stoppers in the NFL, and we've seen him not play as well. So we've got to have consistency too.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to make sure we don't accidentally harp on like the Jets' run defense being bad and like somehow making it like Foley's fault also. Like, I understand the thought process of like, hey, why should we pay this guy $7-8 million? We were last in the league in run defense or whatever we were. I think you can have a bad run defense while having good players in your defense. So I just want to make sure we know that like Foley's not the problem. He's part of the solution potentially.
Right. And JD and Salin, they know that because they're watching the tape and they know who's doing their job and who's not doing their job and what's causing it. Like, they're fully aware. So if they pay him, it's because they know that it wasn't his fault, that he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Jeremy, I love you, dude. Thank you so much for calling in, and you have been ejected from the cockpit. You're out of here! The one thing with the new timer, I don't have it auto set for the chicken. I have to actually click the chicken button. The fact that I have a chicken button is a little... That's it! You're out of here! Chicken. Who we got? Who's on the line?
Call from
Mr. Motivation.
to accept, press 1.
Ooh, Mr. Motivation. How you doing tonight, brother?
How you doing, Ryan?
Trying to hang in there. I just watched the final episode. Shouldn't say final episode, but the end of part 1 of Ozark season 4. So I'm pretty excited for whatever season 2 is going to be. But that's what's going on in Ryan's life. I want to know about you. What's going on, brother?
None, man, just the same old. But I've been doing some thinking and all that, and I'm still hoping that we somehow, some way, I don't care what it takes, but to get Trey McBride on this team.
Oh God, everyone wants Trey McBride. I completely understand because I want him just as badly as you guys do. But man, I don't want to break the bank. I don't want to have a trade up where we just spend all our draft assets. I shouldn't say all our draft assets, but I don't want to overdo it. I want him, but I don't want to go crazy about it.
No, I completely understand. Like, you want to hold on to our first round picks, but you're still hoping that he's in the second round and potentially he's actually a late first round pick from what I'm hearing now.
Yeah, I've heard late first round pick. I know Ali, who was down at the Senior Bowl, was saying that, and it seems like I've seen a few mock drafts with him at the tail end of the first, but I've also seen him ranked in the third round. So I'm not exactly sure where he actually ranks. I'm not as banged up about losing McBride. I think he's not super tall. He's I shouldn't say not super tall. He's 6'3". I do think we probably saw the peak of what he's gonna be because 90 receptions in a season is a crap ton of receptions. I think you're more likely to have a much higher upside with Ruckert, but have the safety of a stable tight end in McBride, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. It's just the reason I want him so bad is because like if you put him on the team where I know he would fit the system, then what will you do? I would bring in Zach Ertz on a 1-year deal just to help him grow as well.
Yeah, look, I would love to bring Zach Ertz in as well, but I don't think at this point in his career, I would be surprised if Zach wanted to play for us instead of like a Super Bowl caliber team. Like for me, I think he's more likely to stay in Arizona unless Kyler just like pulls the plug and they're out. Maybe Kyler goes to Indianapolis and Wentz winds up going to Arizona, and he's got his old buddy back in Wentz and Ertz. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But the way I was looking, who knows what's going to happen with him?
Yeah, well, that's
but
just
after
it. Like,
watching last night's Super Bowl, man, like even though Cincinnati's offensive line is not all that, should wake the Jets up to make us realize that, like, we have to push ourselves if we want to get far.
Yeah, no, we have to. You have to be able to spend money. You have to be able to make hard decisions, and I don't know if the Jets are quite there yet. I think they're still building the foundation. It took the Bengals like 2 years before they were actually able to get to this caliber.
It just felt like it took...
Boom! You're out of here! You have been ejected from the cockpit, Mr. Motivation. We'll have you back. The New York Bully drops in with a super chat. He says, Ryan, what do you think about Cameron Thomas from San Diego State? He's a dog, and I'm starting to prefer him over Jermaine Johnson. If you're starting to prefer him over Jermaine Johnson, I'm going to have to do more of a look into him. I'll be honest, I've looked at a good amount of guys. I haven't gone 7 deep on the edge rusher front yet. I kind of want to tackle it in the top 10, but if you think, and I've said Jermaine Johnson, I think could be a top 15 pick. So if you think Cameron Thomas could be that, I'll take another look at him. 100%. No problem. No problem at all. Let's see. William drops in with a super chat. William says, Beavers from Cincinnati in the 4th and 5th would be a steal. Watch the tape of him shutting down McBride at the Senior Bowl practice. I'm assuming Beavers is a linebacker or safety. That's what I'm assuming. Covering McBride. I don't actually know. I'd have to look into him. But I will. I 100% will. I'm not as sold on the Trey McBride. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm not ride or die Trey McBride like at all. I'd be fine with any one of them. So we'll see. All right, William, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go back to the phones. Phone number's on the screen. Everyone gets 3 minutes to talk to your boy and tell me how you would rebuild the New York Jets. Oh boy. Oh boy. Who we got?
Call from
Bobby.
Hey, what's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, how you doing there?
I'm trying to hang in
the-
there.
Yeah, the Jets will probably... Do you think the Jets will have a better season next year than this year?
I hope so. Just stack better games, right? Like last year we win 2 games. This year we win 4 games. That's double our win percentage. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping we can double it again. Let's get up to 8.
Yeah, look at the whole... Yeah, well, look at both of our teams. We were 8 and 24, 26 this year. Right?
Oh, including with both teams? It would be 6 and...
Yeah, the Giants
something.
and the Jets.
Oh,
Yeah,
Giants
we
and
were
Jets.
8.
Yeah, no, the Giants were bad too. They had, 5 wins, I think?
No, we had 4. The same amount as you did, 4 and 13.
Did they really? I didn't know that. So I guess we just beat them on the tiebreaker for the
For
the draft pick.
Giants.
So do we, though. Like,
I think-
look, our needle's pointing up. I don't have any ill words for the New York Giants. I do want to be the best New York team.
Right. No,
But-
You want to hear a story about the Jets one time? Remember
Yes.
the old stadium?
Sure.
We met Ray Romano at the
Oh,
game.
very
You
cool.
know him?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. Yeah, we met him and we shook his hand and I said, "Oh, I like your wife on the show. I had a crush on her. See, that was a good show.
Oh,
Plus, your show, I heard you like Ozark.
I do. I like a whole bunch of shows.
I
Ozark,
do
I just
too.
finished
Oh my
watching.
God.
Did you watch this new season yet?
What are you? I'm up to 4.
That's just
four.
so season 4 is broken up into 2 parts. There's part 1, part 2. Part 1 was really good. I
Yeah.
just finished it tonight with Becca.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, that show.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful.
What's the other one they had? Something bad.
Breaking Bad. Love me some Bad.
Yeah,
Jesse's my boy. God, there's so many parallels you could draw between the two of them.
Do you ever see the show Power?
I have not seen Power. Good?
Do you know that lady who sang last night in the Super Bowl?
I do. Is she from that?
She's on that show. Yeah, she's on that show.
No way.
Okay,
Becca and I were watching the Super Bowl. We're like,
35
who is
seconds
that?
left.
I don't know who that is.
How's your dog doing?
She's good. She's good. We were chilling, hanging out before. She was all cuddling up. Now I think Bali and Becca are hanging out in bed now. That would be my guess.
How old is she?
Bali.
Is your dog?
So Bali will be 2 years old in like a month, roughly.
Wow, time flies when you're fun.
Oh, it's
I got a couple of seconds now. You're awesome. I'll have
you
my
so
brother
much,
call
brother.
you.
That's it. You're out of here. I like him. I'm sorry I had to cut him off, but the timer waits for no one, brother. The timer waits for no one. Thomas Cahill, I saw you with a super chat. Says, Ryan, Phillips is a must. How high do you think he goes? All right. You know what? This is when people start talking about things that I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about. Let's see. Who are you talking about Phillips-wise? I have no idea who it would be. If you see it in the chat, let me know which Phillips he's talking about. Kyle Phillips. I can't be talking about Kyle Phillips. Get the hell out of here. Kyle Phillips is getting out of here. Phillips is a must. How high do you think he goes? It can't. Is there another Kyle Phillips? Is that a thing? Could be. Let's see. Let's control F this baby. Nothing. 2 L's? Could have definitely fucked that up. Let's see. Throw another L in there. Nope. I got nothing. I don't know who it is. No, the wide receiver from UCLA. All right. Well, you know what? I have no idea. No idea who he is. All right. I'll have to do some more research. I apologize, Thomas. I wish I knew more about him. I know nothing. If you guys know something, let me know in the chat. But we're going to go back to some phone calls. I don't want to give advice on things I do not know. Phone number's on the screen. Everyone gets 3 minutes. Let's see how you guys would rebuild the New York Jets. Oh, Kevin, you got to do more research, he says. More homework. Google Christian Watson. Of course I know Christian Watson. I'm not totally living under a rock. Get the heck out of here. What else you guys talking about? Ghost Mo 5 says, do you think the Jets keep Denzel Mims or trade him on draft night? I would prefer to trade him. I think the coaching staff's probably done with him. It's a shame because I really, really wanted to see him play well. We'll see.
Call from
Frankie.
to accept.
Frankie, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing? You doing good?
I'm hanging in there. Talk to me. How would you rebuild the New York Jets, or throw some other questions at me? What you got?
All right, so since we have only 3 minutes, I'll skip the free agency and we'll go to the draft.
Okay.
So if Thibodeau is not how we check out he's going to be, I think we should go Icky at 4.
Yep.
And 10, this is me. It's crazy to hear, but I want to trade one of the second rounders. So I say if we really like somebody and we think there's room, we slide back from 10, go to like, I don't know, maybe 18, 15, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Right? And take like, I'm a big Treylon Burks guy. I've been watching him for a while, man. This guy's next DK Metcalf type guy.
Now, would you be concerned at all that he goes before you get to your trade down pick? Because are you okay taking one of Garrett Wilson or Drake London if he's not there? Because that's what you run the risk of. I think if you covet one wide receiver, I would take him at 10.
That's what I was looking at. But since we wanna trade, I was thinking if we're gonna go, I mean Trevor Penning, man, he's been the guy. And the offensive tackle, take him. Especially you don't know how Mekhi Beckton's doing. Trade up to the lower end of the first round pick with, like, I would do 38 and like a pick from the trade back and go back up and take Trevor Penning.
I do like
the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I do like that route. Not necessarily for Penning. I think he might wind up going higher after the senior or after the combine and everything. But I like moving down from 10 and moving back up into the first. The 5-year contract is just so valuable.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, it's very good, like, how it is. Because with the 5-year at the end.
So now, would you prefer? Is he the guy you would trade back up for, or are there other guys that you would prefer, like maybe other positions, or what would you think?
I mean, I like McBride, but I don't think it's worth taking him in the first. You could always take a Ruckert in the third, but I'm very big on what's his name, I think
Penning?
Jermaine Johnson, if we're gonna double dip.
Yeah, for me, I would almost rather give up our, like, say 38 and our third to get up like early 20s than just get like get 4 guys you really want, the 3 first rounders and the second rounder. Like, you know, if you don't get it with the third rounder, I could kind of live with it. But I think if you hit on 4 of your 9 draft picks, I think that's pretty rock solid.
Yeah, or maybe a linebacker as well.
If Nakobe Dean's falling, like, there would be a part of me that's like all about. I understand that Devin Lloyd is huge. He's like 6'3", and he would be perfect as well. But man, Nakobe Dean just has like a violence to him that I just really, really like, and I would love to have him in green and white.
That's a solid linebacker right there.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes sense to draft him in the first round for this particular team. But brother, thank you so much for calling in. You have been ejected from the cockpit.
You're out of here!
This is what happens. I don't look at the timer. And then it goes over. Sorry. Good thoughts, though. Good thoughts. A lot of people like Treylon Burks, Trevor Penning. If they think Trey McBride is the final piece of this offense and you want to move up, fine. I trust the evaluation process. I just would not super endorse it on my own.
Call from
Vinny, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up? I haven't been in here a while.
Now, I know it's been a while. You're not going to see me next week, which I just realized now I should probably tell the stream. I'm not going to be here next week. I'm taking a week off. I'm going traveling. Got a baby moon planned.
Oh. How are you enjoying the day St. Valentine was decapitated?
Oh, not too bad. Becca and I didn't do anything crazy. We went out 2 nights ago to a farm-to-table dinner in our town. So it was really cool. Everything that we had, our 5-course meal, was all made from that one farm.
That's neat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Definitely enjoyed it. It's a lot of stuff I would have never ordered on my own, like if I was just out at a restaurant. But because it was just being served, I was like, oh, all right, I'll try it. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So I was impressed. What about you? What did you do today on Valentine's Day?
Nothing, just hung with my friend, got high, usual shenanigans.
I hear you, dude. I'm not judging. I like it. What?
No, so let's talk about the draft. Well,
all right, fire away.
I agree with what you said earlier. You said sign LDT,
yes,
because it gives you that flexibility there.
Yep.
But look, this is a scenario where Thibodeau falls in the draft. And if he falls there, you don't feel bad because now you have LDT of drafting, picking him up. Because, if you don't sign LDT and you pick him up, now you got to get a guard later on. Maybe you don't get one of them.
I think signing LDT gives you the flexibility of being able to draft the best player available.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you that flexibility there. And, and then I think after that, I'd probably go wide receiver the next pick. I really do like Drake London, mainly because, obviously, if they do draft him, the back page of the New York newspapers is going to obviously be London Calling.
Oh, it would be fantastic. He's 6'5". He's so big. Him and Burks are really the two that get me the most excited. But I've started to really like Garrett Wilson a lot. This guy is just he contorts his body. I think all three would be perfect.
This is the biggest thing we need right now because we just need to get those explosive playmakers. You get a top because you look at the Bengals. Obviously, besides their wet cardboard that's called an offensive line, those weapons. It's elite. You have Jamar Chase. And when you cover Jamar Chase, that leaves open for T. Higgins and Boyd and so on and so on. Like, you can't cover everybody. There's always going to be a guy open.
Well, that's just it. I want Michael Carter to be my Joe Mixon. I want whoever we draft at 10 or trade for to be my Jamar Chase. And then I want Corey Davis and Elijah Moore to be my Boyd and Higgins. That would be
exactly. You get that. And that's the thing people got to understand. Is that's how you win. You win.
You're out of here! You have been ejected from the cockpit. Phone number's on the screen, boys. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's all you get. We shall see. We shall see. What are you guys talking about in the chat?
Call from.
Ephraim.
What's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
How are you tonight, Ryan?
I am hanging in there, just having a grand old night talking to all you guys. What's on your mind, brother?
I don't know why everyone's talking about as far as free agency and a wide receiver, Cooper, Ridley. No one's bringing up Allen Robinson anymore. Last year we were hot for him. Now this year, all of a sudden, we're not hot for him.
And you know what? I completely agree. I think that's an area that we do look to go. I think it makes sense contract-wise for Joe Douglas. I think the relationship with Robert Saleh is interesting. And I do think the value that you're going to get from him after a bad year will exceed the contract that we give him.
And I think people are playing up people playing the foot that he had his numbers were down. But he had Dalton and he had a rookie quarterback. Of course his numbers are going to go down. And he's the same age as Cooper.
Yeah, I think they're both 28, 29, somewhere in there.
29.
I think they're both going into their 29-year-old season.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. Now, you mentioned you'd like to have the Jets to have the same thing as the Bengals. So if that's the case, how do you sign Berrios no more than $5 million at best, considering how many snaps he's going to get, how much he's going to be on the field except for kickoffs and punts?
So I want to clarify my stance a little bit on it. I do want to spend on offense the way the Bengals have. I don't think Berrios fits what they do in Cincinnati, but I do think he fits what we're trying to do here. But I like you said, where are you going to play him? If you're playing 12 personnel sets and you have two tight ends on the field, you're going to have Corey Davis and you're going to have Elijah Moore on the field. Like Berrios is going to get relegated to the bench. So it's interesting. I don't know where that balance is because even where I keep running into is Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, the new tight end we bring in, and the new receiver we bring in. That's 5 options that I would try to throw the ball to before I get to Berrios.
Exactly. And so how do you justify giving him a big contract?
I don't think you do. I think you have to plan to use him as a full-time slot if you're giving him that deal.
Exactly. And that's the only way he's going to get that. And if you don't sign him, I would look at this kid Watson later in the rounds because I've seen his tape and he's played kickoff returns and I don't know if he played punts, but he looks very athletic. He can fill that position, and he looks like a real good wide receiver at that position.
Yeah, I think there's probably a delicate balancing act between Berrios has been fully healthy for us. He's got a relationship with Zach, but how much does that cost us? Like if it's going to cost us $9 million, go with Watson. Don't even worry about the $9 million. But man, I sure would love to see Berrios back. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected. You're out of here. From the cockpit. That was a good call, though. That was a good question. God, I love the chicken. Let's do one more phone call. We'll do one more phone call, then we'll head out of here. Guys, we got 119 likes? Hit the like button. We got over 200 people in here. Come on.
Call from.
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit. Strong name you got there.
Ryan, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit. Strong name you got there.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, just make sure you turn off the YouTube video and listen to me on your phone so that way I'm not getting the feedback in the ears.
Gotcha. How's it
Good
going?
stuff. Not too bad. I'm hanging in there. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Yeah, I mean, first day of the off season officially. There's a lot of things we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
I guess today one of the things I was looking at today was wanted to get your thoughts on the right guard position. I know there's a lot of talk about LDT potentially Brandon Scherf for free agency, maybe even the draft. So wanted to get your thoughts on the right guard position, maybe what you see with McGovern moving around, LDT. Get your thoughts on that.
So ideally for me, I would like to keep McGovern at center, but I would draft a center in the 3rd or 4th round this year to prepare for McGovern possibly not being here next year. I think that's important. Now, guard-wise, I would like to bring back LDT. I would not go after Brandon Scherf. I think he's going to cost a lot of money. He's a really good guard, but he hasn't really been healthy and available for all the games. So I would prefer to go the LDT route. If the Jets feel they are against maybe whatever LDT is asking for price-wise, and they don't necessarily want to go guard early in this draft, maybe you go after someone like a Laken Tomlinson or a Daniel... Daniels? Something Daniels. Whatever, the guard from the Bears. He's real young, good at the wide zone blocking scheme. Those were the routes I'd probably go, but I would go LDT first, and then I would look into the draft. If the edge rusher is not available at 4, I have no problem taking Aquanu and letting LDT play backup. If the edge rusher's there, then I take the edge rusher. I take the receiver at 10, and I look for a guard some point in the 2nd or 3rd round to try and have them groom behind LDT. But I do like the positional flexibility that Aquanu or Neal give us at the beginning of the draft, just because I don't know what I have in Becton, and it kills me. It absolutely burns me up inside to know that we may have to spend a 1st-round pick on an offensive lineman and a wide receiver after just spending a 1st and a 2nd just 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough because, we thought we had the answer in the left tackle all these years after Diebrich, and now that's a question mark. And then just after we had a little bit glimpses of Denzel Mims for his rookie year with Flacco, and come back to that 2nd round wide receiver Jets curse. I'm just praying that's not the case with Elijah this year.
Oh, God, I hope it's not the curse. I hope Elijah plays as well as I hope he does. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a live stream going with Mike Tyson, and I should have made a video about this. Maybe I will. But Elijah Moore was offered a blunt by Mike Tyson, but he didn't take it. And it's funny. It's an interesting back and forth. They had 10 minutes where they were going back there, but it was during the Super Bowl yesterday. Crazy. Brother,
Yeah,
thank you so much for calling in.
York.
Jack Benson, you're out of here! From the cockpit. Oh, God, I love that. Okay, I'm lying. We're going to do one more call. Let's do another call. I get so excited. I like this whole new setup I got. I don't think I've been lagging, so I guess I may have figured out my issues with what's going on. I think it was because I was streaming to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Now I'm only streaming to YouTube, so little less exposure, but a little bit more quality. Quality is what I want. Quality over views. Casey Howard. Good stuff, dude. FM says he's trying to call in. Well, I'm on my screen. Let me hit the refresh button. Maybe something's going on. I probably should pick a better app than Google Voice because they don't send through all the calls. I'll see a bunch of almost calls flying through the recent calls, but it doesn't connect for some reason. So if you don't get called or if you don't get through and you get a voicemail, just call again. It's okay. Zachary Berner, are you going to update the big board this season? Yes, I will update it as we go. This is as of last week. So, and this is Tankathon. So keep that with a grain of salt. It could be totally different than what we're looking at other sites.
Call from
Joe.
Joe, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
I was wondering if I was going to talk to you tonight. How are you doing tonight?
All right. Yeah, I want to talk about some with the TV shows. Did you like Yellowstone?
Ooh, I have not watched it. I've had multiple people tell me that, and I got to sit and watch it. So I haven't.
It's a good series.
I've heard great things. I really got to sit down. I have a list of probably 2 shows that I got to get to before that one. I got to watch Murderville, which I heard was pretty good. That's on Netflix. And then I guess Yellowstone. I thought I had another one in there too. Whatever. What other? You got any other shows you like or movies?
Well, I like I'm an old dude, so I like the old school stuff. Sanford and Son, Dukes of Hazzard. I'm into the retro 70s and 80s shows.
I love it. I love it. There's some good shows. My dad was a big Columbo guy growing up. I don't know like when Columbo was on, but that was like the one thing Saturday mornings. It must have been like Turner Classic Movies or something like that. He would have it on like every morning.
I like Mission Impossible too. That was good back in the day.
Those are great. So I've only seen the Mission Impossible movies. I'm assuming, is there a show too at one point?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, in the 60s and early 70s. Yep.
I love
how
me.
It all started.
Love me some Tom Cruise.
Anyway,
and some
let's
jumping
get to
off
the
of buildings.
draft.
Yeah, fire away.
I'll tell you what, Ryan. I think this is going to be the biggest draft the Jets, the most important draft, let me say, that we've ever had in the history of our franchise.
Yeah, I would say most important offseason. I don't know if I'd necessarily just say the draft, but I would say offseason in general.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because of free agency and trades, possible trades. But I think for the number 10 pick, number 4 pick, I think we're going to go offensive line. That's my opinion. Either Neal or Ikuwanu, that guy.
Sure.
But I think number 10, I think we should trade it.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it. Is there someone is there a position you'd want to trade back to, ideally? And is there a position you'd want to look for?
I have a feeling we're not going to get Hamilton because, I think he's going to go a little earlier than what I expect. So probably safety and cornerbacks. It seems like there's a couple of decent ones out there we can get. Garner or Stingley.
I do like Sauce a lot. I would say, from what I've been reading, it seems like Hamilton's like the only first-round caliber safety, with Brisker being like fringe first round. I feel like a lot of the guys wind up falling into the second at that point. So I'd probably go a different route than safety, but I do like Sauce in a trade down.
You know what? Yeah, I think I'd go with that. I think you're right.
We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't say Sauce is my first trade down option. Like I would prefer any of the receivers, or maybe even like a linebacker before I go to him.
There you go. Hey, Ryan, I'm ejecting myself. See you later.
Take it easy, brother. You have been ejected. You're out of here. All right, boys and girls. That was kind of fun. We're going to keep this to just an hour. Keep me a little sane. The wife, it's Valentine's Day. Your boys got to take care of some business. We're watching a show. Get your heads out of the gutter. It's been fun, boys and girls. It's been a lot of fun. My name's Ryan. This has been Jets Talk. Or I've been Jets Talk. This is the Cockpit. Call-in show. Bam! This is Ryan signing off. Jets.